Are we live? Oh, the broadcast is live. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, everybody. Thank you for joining us. And by us, I mean me and me and me. No, just kidding. Thank you for joining us as me and SQI for our Christmas celebration. Just not sure where this is streaming to, but let us know if you can hear us and see us loud and clear. And of course, I have with me us. I can't decide to use me or us. Okay, I have with me us Douglas. He's insisting on doing the knock. Douglas /
Hello.
Kampong King. Hello. Merry Christmas.
Okay, the camera can't decide whether to focus on me or
Okay,
you.
I will leave.
No. Wait. Okay.
I'll make a $2 statement because it's Douglas's camera.
Yeah.
Douglas,
Okay.
can you come back in?
Okay, come back in and let's see.
Oh, it works.
Okay,
Yay!
it works. Okay, so we have two other people who are joining us.
Yes. When did this come up with? The
Hello.
Merry Christmas. You want to say
Merry
something?
Christmas.
Do you want to say something? Say something.
Say what?
Can you say something?
Can you hear me? Yeah, Merry Christmas,
Yes,
everyone.
yes.
We can now. Okay. Are you going to introduce it?
Hang on. Where's our fourth musketeer?
Fourth musketeer. Calling for fourth musketeer. Non-stop knocking until the musketeer appears.
Hello. So, welcome to our special edition of Ouch My Money.
It's Ouch My Money.
What?
It's Ouch My Money, okay.
Yeah, it is.
Special Ouch My Money Christmas edition.
Yeah, so this is our special edition of Ouch My Money, where we are going to do something very, very special and different today. Instead of having our usual conversations, we have a gift. Okay, we have a gift that well, how should we? Okay, let me just tell you about the
Wait,
gift.
pause. Where's the other invited guest? Is he still around?
Is our
Yes.
invited guest around?
Should I add him?
Yeah, add him now. Say hello, Afik. Afik, say hello.
Hello, Afik.
Konnichiwa, apa kabar? Oyasumi nasai.
This is nonsense.
Simi, what's happening?
Okay, so we're doing something very different today, and what we are going to do, okay, is this our last
For the year?
for the year? No, we've got
No,
one
we
more.
have one more next
Okay, we have
week.
one more.
We
Okay,
have one
but
more next week.
this is Christmas week, and being Christmas week, so we didn't do yesterday. We're doing today. What we are going to do is have. Okay, we're going to give you guys a gift, and I'm going to talk about that gift right now. Okay, so some of you may know, and for those of you who don't, Chun Ho and I are from the Strengths Quotient Institute, and Denise, Rachel, and Afik are people that we work with in various capacities. And what we're going to do, Chun Ho is going to give you guys, share something really, really special. And what is this something that's really, really special? So I've known Chun Ho for years and years. And he used to be an employee with an global oil and gas company. And in 2015, right? 2015, he retired at age 45. 2014, he retired at age 45 to join the business, to join me as a business partner in the Strengths Quotient Institute, because he could. Okay, and what Chun Ho has is what I call a magic money chest. It just churns out money. Okay, and this magic money chest that churns out money for him grows at a faster rate than he can spend. And this magic money chest that he has, which he will talk about, he'll tell you how he built that magic money chest. I think the magic money chest is going to last him forever. Okay, forever and ever and ever and ever.
For the rest of his life.
Yeah, for the rest of his life and even beyond. So Chunho has been building his magic money chest for some time, and for a very long time, I attempted to persuade him to share some of his experience, his information on how he created that magic money chest. And finally, I got him to share that information through a little program that we call Kopi O Kosong. Why did we call it Kopi O Kosong? Because that's what he does. Okay, he drinks his Kopi O Kosong every morning. Okay, he reads the news and makes money doing that. Okay, so I'm going to hand over to Chunho right now. Okay, this is our gift. Okay, it's not even our gift. It's Chunho's gift.
Yeah.
Okay, so Chunho has kindly agreed. Okay, he has generously agreed. Okay, to for the next half an hour or so, share with you guys. Okay, you know, it took a very, very long time to actually even persuade him to do this because he doesn't need to. Okay, so he's going to over the next half an hour share with you guys this magic money chest. Okay, I think he calls it something else, but this magic money chest. If you guys have questions, okay, if you have questions, please post in the comments, and we'll do our best to respond. Why do I keep saying we? Okay, Chunho will do his best, okay, to respond and answer as many questions as he can. Okay, over the next half an hour or so. So as he shares, please put your questions, your comments into the comments below, and then we will. Yeah, I'm just gonna stop talking right now and pass this over to Chunho.
Yay!
Can we give Chunho a hand? Okay, Chunho, it's yours.
Thank you, Douglas, and thank you, Denise. Okay, I'm going to. Where is everybody going? Okay, I am sharing this gift in honor of my aunt who recently passed away. My aunt was 85 years old when she recently passed away, and she's not married, and she did not have kids of her own. So my father, who is her older brother, and my brothers and I, who are her nephews, are the closest people to her. We are her family, basically. And when she passed away, we looked through her stuff, and she doesn't have a lot of possessions, but she did have enough, and she gets by in her life. And we are the people who survive her, and we are the people who will be remembering her. And when I went through this thought, thinking about the people that will remember her, which will be the people closest to her in her life, I started to think about myself, because like my aunt, I'm not married, and I have no kids of my own. And the closest people, or the closest descendants I am going to have, will be the children of my siblings, my two brothers. And they will be the people that will survive me. And then the knowledge I have, which I hope to pass to them on wealth generation, provided they want to learn from me, I will pass it to them. But otherwise, the knowledge I have about wealth building is going to be lost. And I'm not go- I thought about it. I'm not going to take this to my grave, because it is useless. Like, I can't generate wealth with this when I pass away. So thinking about that, I decided that I will share this as a gift to everybody who's willing to learn about it, who wants to build wealth and do the math. It is actually nothing complicated. It's simple mathematics, and then you just need to execute it. It is not Singapore mathematics, it's just very basic math, and I'm going to show it to you on a spreadsheet. Don't worry, it is not the kind of mathematics like the Helen and the Ivan, how many coins she has, how many coins he has kind of thing. That's too complicated, way too complicated, and you actually don't need that to know those kind of mathematics to even understand what I'm going to show you. So I'm going to share screen. Rachel, can you help bring up the screen? Yeah, so I'm going to go through with you this spreadsheet. There's 3 parts to this. I'm going to slowly go through with you the first part. Now, the first thing that you need, or anybody who needs to actually accumulate wealth, is to first be able to generate wealth. And if you have a job, you're an employee, you are getting a salary, or you run a business, you will generate income. And all those things are your income generating mechanism. And once you have a income generating mechanism, what you need to do is to be able to save some money and put it aside and invest. So in this spreadsheet, highlighted here, what I'm going to show you is in the first year, if you are able to, please save $1,000 a month. So okay, give me a second. People cannot, I think I will zoom in so that people can see better. Is it? Wait, let me just zoom in first. Okay. Is this better? Okay. So what this column A and B here shows is that year one, the year one is not interest. Year one, put aside $1,000 a month. On a monthly basis, put aside $1,000 and find an investment instrument that has an interest of 0.83% a month. And then every month put into the investment instrument that is 0.83% a month. On an annual basis, that will be approximately 10.5%. Of course, if you put in the bank, the savings account, even the fixed deposit, everything, nothing is going to give you 10.5%. A lot of things that the banks are going to give you will not get you this amount. So that will be a challenge. And I'll talk a little bit more where to look for this approximately 10.5 or more per annum investment instrument a little bit later. But the mathematics is such, if you are able to, in the first year, every month put in $1,000. In the second year, every month put in $2,000. And then third year, every month, $3,000. Fourth year, every month, $4,000. And from the fifth year onward, every month you can put in $5,000 into the investment instrument. Of course, you need to save that money and put it aside. You will find that over a period, and this lower part of it is that in year one, first month, I put in $1,000. The interest that I generate is $8. So at the end of the month, you get 1,008. But because every month you earn an interest, and the principal you put it that earn the interest is going to earn interest again, this is a compounding interest methodology. So by the end of first year, you actually have 12.67K. And then so forth, and you continue putting money in. And I'm going to scroll down by the 12th year, you will have $1 million. Okay, this is if you put $1,000 a month first year, $2,000 a month second year, and so forth. Now, some of you may think, well, that's a lot of money for me to put every month. So, okay, fine. If you don't have that much, then you can reduce it. And let me share with you. You can do a little bit slower. You can do, in the first year, every month put $1,000. Second year, every month put $1,250. Third year, every month put $1,500, and so forth. So it's incremental of $250. So that doesn't look so taxing. Now, if you do this and based on the compounding interest methodology, you will still accumulate $1 million by the 16th year. Not too bad. Okay. So it is not like you are going to like live, you have to work so hard, slog your life for the rest of your life, like 20, 30 years before you actually have $1 million. It is possible to get that $1 million within 20 years. Now, I'll give you another scenario. Let's say you say the interest, the rate that you get may not be 0.83%. Maybe you can't find one that's 10.5% per annum. Maybe we find one that is about 8.3% per annum, which is about 0.647% per month. Okay, and you still put $1,000 a month first year, $1,250 a month second year, and so forth. It will build a little bit slower, but at the end of in sometime in the 17th year, you will still reach $1 million. Now let's go a little bit, change the scenario a little bit. Instead of putting it every month because you probably cannot accumulate so much, you say, okay, I can't do that because I have other things to do. Let's say you found the interest rate, the investment instrument that has approximately 10.5% per annum. But in the first year, you can only put $6,000 every 6 months. And then, so after 6 months, you put $6,000. Then after another 6 months, because you got a bonus already, you can put another 6,000. And then the second year, you increase it a little bit. After 6 months, you put $8,000. And then after another 6 months, you got more bonuses, you put a little bit. So it's incremental every year, you put in $2,000. If you do this, it will take a little bit longer as well, but still, you will get $1 million on the 16th year. It is possible. So the principle basically is to find something that will generate interest, and you live on the compounding interest basis, and then you let it generate over time. And by 16 or 17 years, you will reach $1 million. But the key thing is you must put money aside. You must save some money and put it aside, and then you generate it. Now, $1 million, some people will think, well, $1 million is not a lot of money. So after $1 million, you think I can survive, man? I can retire, man? I'm going to show you, yes, you can. And I'm going to show you, instead of $1 million, let's go for $1.5 million. Let's go back to scenario 1, okay, where we talk about 10.5% per annum, and then you put in $1,000 per month the first year, $2,000 per month the second year, and so forth. Let's say you get by the 12th year, you get $1 million, but maybe $1 million not enough for you. Maybe you continue working and continue generating income and then putting money aside. You continue to do that until, say, the 15th year. And when you reach 1.5, you get $1.5 million. Okay, you get $1.5 million. What you can do is then, instead of taking all this money and start spending it, keep the money in this investment instrument that continue to generate 10.5% per annum interest rate. And I'm going to show you how you can utilize that. Now, let's say this one, let's say you decided to continue to put it in there. You know that if you put it in, it is on the basis of the interest is about 10.5 per annum interest per month is 0.83 generates. In the first year, let's say it has 1.5 million. The interest that you generate per month based on 0.83% is actually 12.5. And then by the end of the month, you actually will accumulate until another 1.5125. So actually, your interest per month is 12.5, which means you actually can spend up to 12.5 without depleting it. But I would suggest not spending everything of it. Just say you make your expenses to be $8,000 a month. That's not very shabby. That's a lot of money to spend. You can actually spend even up to $10,000 a month. And you will not deplete the interest. And as long as it's interest that can be compounded, your wealth will continue to build. And so your wealth generating machine will continue to accumulate. It will not run out. as long as you can find the instruments that generate 10.5% per annum. So you continue to build. See? Now, of course, if you can actually by the end of the time that you retire, you can have $2 million. You can take more money out because every month your interest generated from it is 16.7K. And you just continue to build. So by the end of, and you continue to accumulate, it will just continue to go 3 million, 4 million, and so forth. So the moment you accumulated $2 million or $1.5 million, you actually can retire and you don't have to pump money in anymore. You actually can start drawing money out of it and you will continue to grow. So that is the concept of this wealth generating machine. And that's why I actually can stop working with my company, and I pull out after working 20 years, save enough money, put inside this instrument, and then let it just generate. And then anytime I need money, I just draw from it. And that's how I do it. Of course, people are going to ask, wait, let me just check whether I have any questions over there. Okay. Of course, people are going to ask this, where to find investment instrument that's going to generate 10.5, at least 10.5% interest rate per annum. And I'm going to show you this. Okay, I don't know whether you can see. Okay, there is this index called the Dow Jones Industrial Index. Let me just take a look. How yours? Can you see this well? Okay, there's this Dow Jones Industrial Index, and you see that over the years, it was a little bit slow in year 2000 and stuff, but from 2009 onwards, it starts shooting up. And if I do an average of the returns, let me just zoom this a little bit. If you do the average returns per year on a compounding basis, the Dow Jones Industrial average from 2011 to 2020 is about 9.6. A little bit low, cannot meet our 10.5. But it's over a 15-year basis, it's about 6.3. But over a 20-year basis, it's about 5.6. Not the best. But you also can look at another one, the S&P 500 index, okay, which I'm going to show you the graph, which is this graph. Okay, around the period of the same time, 2009, it also shot up. But the rate at which it shot up over the last 10 years is 11.6. 15 years, 7.6. And the last 20 years, on the average on compounding basis, is 6%. Now, there's also another one, which is the NASDAQ. In the last 10 years, 17.3. Okay. And then this last 15 years, 11.5, 11.2. And the last 20 years is 9.6. So there are indices out there that can actually generate returns that is high. And you are able to actually tap on these indices by investing in the ETF of these indices. Okay. Personally, I wouldn't recommend going with Dow Jones. Okay, and this is my recommendation. You don't have to take it. Please don't quote me, and please go and do your own research. And please, just because I've done it doesn't mean that it will work for you. Please do your research and verify everything. Because in my Kopiok Kosong investing method, I always tell my students, don't trust any gurus. Always do your own research. Even if they tell you all this information, check it, and make sure that it's correct. Okay, don't always take the words from a guru. You don't know what else they have done beyond that. Okay, so for me, I will not take Dow Jones Industrial Average because you look at the returns, it's not really that great. Okay, if you have a high risk appetite, you can go for NASDAQ because NASDAQ actually has a lot of startups and a lot of technology companies in there. And that's why when the technology, when the internet came about and the internet and social medias and all those tech companies start to boom, That's why it grew a lot significantly. So Nasdaq will grow. But if you want to invest in Nasdaq, you need to look forward and think about in the future, are tech companies going to continue to grow? Where is the world heading towards? And what are the companies that's going to lead us into the futures? And you feel that the companies that are going to lead us in the futures are going to be all these tech companies, then you can consider Nasdaq. And if your risk appetite is big enough, you can consider Nasdaq. You have to remember Nasdaq is also quite shaky sometimes. And traders like to do a lot of funny things to Nasdaq one. Now, of course, there's another one called the S&P 500. Now, the S&P 500 index is made up of companies. Why is it called 500? Because it's made up of the top 500 companies that has the biggest market capitalization in the US. Is the biggest market capitalization in the US, and these are also companies that are profitable. If you have big market capitalizations, but if you are not profitable for 2 quarters, you can't get into the S&P 500. And that's why last time, even Tesla, where its market capitalization was so huge, but because they haven't made profit, it was not included in S&P 500 until much later, until you actually make profit for close to 4 quarters, because it actually gone into the S&P 500. Now it's included in the S&P 500. And because of the nature of the S&P 500 index, the way it is being, how companies are being included in it, this is quite a reliable index that I think we can tap on that 10% growth. And even Warren Buffett is the one that advocating, if you don't know anything about investing, if you don't know how to select shares and don't know make all those studies, just invest in the S&P 500 index, because over the years it will grow. And if you go read a lot of journals, read a lot of investing things, a lot of people will tell you about the S&P 500 and just use it as one part of your portfolio because it's a stable and it will grow and all the stuff. So this is what I'm telling you. First, go back to the first thing. Once you are able to generate income, or you have a business that generates income, save money, put some money aside. If you can, the best is put $1,000 aside every month, or at least start growing it slowly. 1,000 per month the first year, 1,250 per month the following year, and so forth. You need to keep. Don't save the money and then spend it away. Then your $1 million millionaire dream is going to disappear, and then you will go and buy Toto, and based on chances, then it's a probability thing. But this is a reliable, stable thing that can get you there. Save the money, invest in a wealth-generating instrument that can bring you at least 10.5%. And one of the things that you think you don't know what else, then you go with S&P 500 is one of the things. Now, just don't take my words for it and let's just go invest in the ETF of S&P 500. Please do your research. Okay, this is my qualifier. If you don't do research and you invest in it and it goes wrong, don't blame me. Okay, it's a gift for you and don't blame me. Now, and once you reach a certain amount of money, you actually can stop putting money in and you can start drawing money out, and you still continue to grow. Okay, and this is how the wealth generating machine, or what Douglas called the magic pot, that he's talking about, how it works. Now, some of you, wait, before I go to some of you, is there any questions? No questions? If you have any questions, please type in the comments, because I'm not actually looking in the comments, and my other ouchies will watch out for me. But I'm going to tell you this. If some of you will say that, wow, putting aside $1,000 a month, saving $1,000 and then putting in the investment instrument is tough for me. I don't have that kind of money. And if you're struggling to even put aside some money, then you are over committed in your expenses. And you need to relook at your expenses, and you need to start thinking about budgeting. And if you still struggle with it, then I would suggest you talk to one of our ouchies, which is Rachel. Rachel, can you show yourself? Say hello, Rachel. Yeah, talk to Rachel. Rachel is the founder of Expense Concierge. Expense Concierge is solution. Sorry, it is a business she started to support people in looking through their expenses and see how they can manage their expenses so they can free up money, so that they can do something, money that works for them to help them build wealth. So she started this and she's been supporting a lot of people actually overseas, helping them to build wealth. And if you are struggling to even take money out to put aside, talk to her. Now, if you, after listening to me, you're still struggling, well, how I'm going to do this, I don't fully understand all this mathematics that you know I put up, it seems very complicated, I don't understand compounding interest, and I don't fully understand the different indices that he showed, and I don't know what is ETF and all stuff. They're going to tell you the person that actually employs this methodology that I'm talking about best that I know of is Afik. Okay, he is. Can I show Afik? Afik, say hello. Say
Hey!
hello. Okay, Afik founded a company called Fast Free Finance. Okay, in this Fast Free Finance, he works with people who actually look at their money and then they can save money, and then he advise them and support them to put it into instruments that support their risk appetite to grow the wealth. And he knows this because he has talked to me, and a lot of time before he asked me before, would you invest in S&P 500? I would tell him, no, I'm not going to invest. But for those people who doesn't really know investing, yes, I would tell them you can do it. S&P 500 to me is good enough for you. You don't want to go and hunt for shares and all those stuff. You can go with it. Okay, it will work. Okay, and it will generate roughly about 10% per annum. Okay, on the long-term basis, if you don't say that, okay, I put in 1 year and then over 1 year, how come it didn't give me 10%? Okay, this is on a long-term basis, and on an average basis, over the years, it will generate at least 10.5. Okay, you have to tell me there are times. I'm going to show you the graph of S&P 500 again. There are times during recession and other things, it will drop. Okay, even the Dow Jones, even NASDAQ, it will drop. Look at this. There are periods of recessions. There are periods of bad things, bad economy, and it will drop. But over the years, on a long-term basis, it's always increasing. It's always rising. And I'm going to show you NASDAQ as well, and it's the same thing. It will drop. It will this. But over the years, it's rising. Okay, and why am I telling you to go with Dow Jones? Look at Dow Jones, look at S&P 500, and look at NASDAQ. Okay, some of you may say, I really don't know the US shares. I don't know what's happening in the US. I'm comfortable. I'd rather stick with Singapore shares. Okay, if you want, you can go and invest in the Singapore Straits Times Index. But I'm going to tell you the returns are not that high. Singapore market is just too small. Singapore stock market is just small, and it's actually heavily influenced by the regions as well as Japan. What happened in Japan, what happened in Hong Kong, what happened in London, and what happened in the US. All of them will influence how the Singapore stock market perform, and actually cause Singapore stock market or Singapore index have no backbone. So it's basically influenced by a lot of other markets. So you can invest in it, you can, but the returns is not going to be high. And if you don't trust me, you go and pull out the Singapore Straits Times Index, and you can see how it performed, and do an average of the returns over the last 20 years, 50 years, and 10 years. And you can see on average per year, what is the average returns, and then you decide for yourself. So this is what I'm saying. Now, some of you may think, actually, I think my years are, I'm already more advanced in my years. I'm already 40 plus, I'm already 50 plus. I want my money to gain a little bit faster, or increase a little bit faster. Then you may need to, instead of using S&P 500, you may need to use something that is a little bit generate income a little bit faster. And I do teach people And in my Kopio Kosong investing, I teach people to invest in a certain manner that is going to outperform the S&P 500. The annual returns can be between 20 to 30%, but there's a lot of work to be done. Okay, those people who have gone through Kopio Kosong investing, listening to this, they can attest to it. They need to read a lot, and they're going to do a lot of work in order to get those kind of returns. Okay, it's not like just a ride in the park. And I know a lot of people who attended my course, they are not actually executing some of this because they have the day job and they can't afford the time to do a lot of that kind of reading. And I can understand that, but I told them that read as much as you can, and you can get a vibe. After a certain period of reading, you can get a vibe with where the market is going. When I say the market, it's not the stock market. I'm talking about the world. Okay, let's not talk market. The world is heading. You can get a vibe of where the world is heading, where the young people are looking at, where the technology, everything about the world is going, and you can get a vibe of what companies are going to bring value to the world, what companies will then bring us to the next phase of the next phase of or bring the next generations to us in the next phase and all those stuff. And you know what these good companies will be, and then you know that these are some of the companies to invest in. And if you're interested in learning a little bit on how Kopio Kosong investing is done, I've created an online course. It's an online self-learning course. You can register for it. Rachel, can you show up the registration site? Can you hear me? Am I still around? Can you put it in the big banner? Yeah. You can click on this site. Okay, it's kopiokosong.com, Principles of Kopio Kosong registration, and you can go in there. You can register for it. It is a self-learning online course. Okay, you can learn it anytime on you, and I've really break it down into bite-sized pieces that you can just take a piece, a few lessons here and there, and then slowly then digest it and learn it yourself. Now, I've made it free for you as a gift, okay, and it's going to be valid. This is going to be valid for you all the way into 31st of January 2022. Can you give put in there the promo code? The promo code that is free during this period is Xmas 2021. Go register it, put in the promo code, and you can learn it. It's a self-learning thing. You can share with your friends. I'm going to give it as a gift because I'm not going to take this Kopio Kosong investing methodology to my grave as well. So take it, share with your friends, get your kids to learn it or whatever. And I'm going to tell you, please get your kids, if you have kids, get your kids to learn about this wealth generating mechanism as well. Okay. Learning the math in Singapore school is just to pass an exam, but they actually don't need that to generate wealth. This mechanism will work. Basically, is to save money, put in an investment instrument, put in something that has a certain high percentage of returns, and then continue to build the wealth based on compounding interest. This is Finance 101. Okay, it will work. Compounding interest based on simple mathematics, it will work. Okay, go learn this. If you want to learn more about Kopio Kosong investing that will generate higher than 10%, do this. Go learn it. Okay, it is free for you. And I don't know what else to give you because a lot of people are asking me, how can I just take money out and then cannot deplete it? This is how. Because every time I take money, I'm just living off the interest that 10% is generating back on it. Because my interest using Kopio Kosong investing is actually 20 to 30%. Okay, so I actually can pull a lot more money out than that, but I actually don't pull so much because I don't spend so much money. And so I continue to accumulate even more money that goes into the future. And you can do this too. Anybody can. As long as you don't generate income and then just spend for useless stuff that boosts your ego. A lot of people start working, earn money already. You know what they do? They buy things that boost their ego. Okay, that doesn't generate wealth in the long run. That only generate happiness or ego boosting thing in the short run. And that's it. The money is gone after that. Okay. So this is my gift to you. And that's all I have. If there's any question, I can take questions and I can answer them. I think there's no question.
So if there are any questions, please put it in the chat or in the comments. If you guys are watching this now, but if you guys are not watching this now and you watch this later, it's fine as well. If you got other questions that you have, or if you think of questions and you want to come back to this, please post them in the comments below, and Chunho will try his best to answer. Okay, but the thing I really want to say is this: I've been in the industry for many years, for more than a decade, and really, I think at the end.
Can I say something? I forgot to say. Yeah. Highlight one more thing.
Sure.
And if you actually feel that you are really putting some money aside and you want to put more money aside, I would suggest you increase your income generation methodology. You don't just rely on one income that you have, your day job. It's not sufficient, okay? For me, myself, over the years, ever since I started, I always have a side hustle. Okay, when I call a side hustle means I have another thing to generate income. Okay, when I first started, the first thing I did was I sell used secondhand stuff. Okay, I actually go down to Clarke Quay at the time, set up a store, and I sell collectibles. I buy things from other people, and I sell things to other people. I'm like a middleman.
Okay, Chunho, pause. So for those of you who are listening to Chunho talk about Clarke Quay right now, you need to know that Chunho is that old. Okay, that we belong to that generation when we first came out to work. The internet didn't exist. Okay, and what Chunho is describing is a flea market for those of you who are in our generation. You will know that there used to be a flea market at Clarke Quay, and that's what Chunho was talking about.
Yeah. So I had to physically go down to a place to actually sell it, because at the time there's no internet store, no app store that I can actually, like Carousel or eBay at the time, to sell stuff. But nowadays you guys have that. You guys have the opportunity. You guys can easily set up something to do something and sell stuff, use stuff, trade stuff, and whatever it is. You have the thing. So I started off with that, and I did that. And then subsequently, I went into properties. I invested in properties. And the way I invest, I don't trade properties. I buy properties. That was together with Douglas as well. We buy properties, and then we redesign the properties, and then we sell it, and then we add value to the property, and then we sell it to generate additional income. And subsequently, I was also a landlord. Okay, we rented some properties as well, and was a landlord in a sense. Then subsequently, I went into equity investing. But I just did all these things simultaneous here and there, and I went to investing primarily, but I also play around with trading. I also play with margins and play with warrants or options, and I did margin investing, and I also did contra at one point. I did all sorts of stuff, but eventually I think that the most comfortable thing for me is investing, because I don't have to deal with the day-to-day churn of the market, which is too much of a roller coaster for me. Some of you love that, you can go and do it, but I actually prefer investing. And it is easier because I don't have to be worried day in, day out. Okay, I just leave money aside and just let it generate. So I would, for those of you that even work with Rachel already and put aside some money already and think you want additional money, please start the side hustles. And Doug can tell you a little bit more on how you can start the side hustles, what platform you can use to start the side hustles. But what it is important to start side hustles, because if you want to rely on your day job to retire, I tell you, you are putting yourself.
There's a question. Yeah. Before you go that way. And the question is from Big32819. What about save, endow us, and stash away? Okay, so you can read the question there, right?
Yes. Okay, those things are basically online apps, right? The StashAway thing. But the thing is that if you can go to StashAway, it is an auto investment instrument or something like that. You can put money in it, and you can tell it how much money you want to put in it, and then every month you will invest. They also invest in ETF, but you must tell them what ETF you want to invest. And there's plenty of ETF in there, and you need to pick the ETF. And how do you know what ETF? There are plenty of ETF. Actually, personally, I don't like ETF because ETF has a lot of things in there, and there are some companies that I don't like. That's why Afik has talked to me about ETF. I said, personally, I won't go to ETF because every time I look at ETF, there are companies there that I actually don't like. I don't like some of the ETF. Some of the companies, select my companies that I think is worth it. Every time I selected all those companies, and I look at the closest ETF that have those companies that I want, they will always have one company that I think is going to kill my returns. So I will not put in ETF unless you go and study ETF. Then you go and put. Don't just anyhow just put an ETF. I've got friends that use StashAway, and then he put it in there, thinking every ETF is the same, and then eventually he lost money, and then after 2-3 months he put it up. And I said, 2-3 months is not enough. You got to put it over the years. But even if you put in ETF,
pause. Okay, pause. You need to slow down a little bit. Okay, but before you start, I'm just going to contextualize a little bit of what Chuno just said. Okay, so he talked about S&P and he talked about ETF, and right now he's saying that he doesn't like ETF, and some of you may be a little bit confused. So primarily what Chunho does, okay, his method of investing and being able to pick super performing stocks, that strategy outperforms all the ETFs. That's number one. Okay, so his strategy outperforms ETFs, and that's why he says that he doesn't like ETFs. However, not everyone can do what he does, okay, in the way he analyzes, in the way he follows what's happening in the world, and in the way that he actually picks stocks that goes into his portfolio. Not everyone can do that. Okay, but what he shared earlier was, if you can't do what he does, then there is one ETF. Okay, there's one ETF that gives a certain level of returns that can be utilized. Okay, but regardless, what I also want to say, okay, these are all just tools and platforms to use. Okay, but tools and platforms are useless unless you have a strategy. And what Chunho is talking about, okay, his principles are about knowing what your strategy is. Then you find the tool to execute your strategy. Right, Chunho?
yes. So all I'm saying is that if you can't pick stock and it takes too much effort, the easiest way is to go with the S&P 500 ETF. So you want to use these auto apps, these auto investing apps, you can. And you can use it, and then...
Yeah, but you must still have your strategy first.
Yeah, you still
These
have
are
a
just
strategy,
tools.
and I would suggest the
these are just
ETF you
tools.
pick is S&P 500. But if you don't pick NASDAQ ETF, that's fine too. You just have to be comfortable with it. And you need to understand the ETF, the key thing. Don't just... A lot of people just pick the ETF because somebody says so, some guru says so. You need to understand what companies go in it. And then you need to recognize what these companies are.
Okay. Are there any questions? Are there any other questions or comments at this point in time? Let me see. Okay, looks like that's it for now. Okay, we'll wait. Well, if you guys have any more questions, just drop us a line in the comments, and Chunho will look at them at some point in time. Okay, all right. I hope that all of you have got tremendous value from what Chunho has just shared. It's a piece of amazing information. Okay, that gives him the financial freedom and agility to do a lot of things that he wants to do. Okay, which will last him. I know will last him for a very, very long time, the rest of his life. Okay, he has created an online course. Okay, and the link that he has shared, we were charging for that. Okay, it wasn't a lot of money, but right now he's giving that for free. Okay, so please take advantage of that for now. the offer is valid. Okay, and the thing I want to say is this. Okay, it's not a funnel. There's no funnel. Okay, it's not an upsell. Okay, there's nothing that we will upsell after that. You can take the information, you can share this information. It's up to you. Okay, but use it. Okay, use it to create whatever it is that you want to create for yourself. Okay, and just do that. Okay, Chuno, anything else? Anything else that you want to add?
That's all I have.
Okay, all right, thank you. Can we give Chuno a hand? Thanks, Chuno. Okay, so next, I'm just going to very quickly talk about a couple of other things. Now, for those of you who are joining us for the first time, okay, this is special edition, special episode of Ouch My Money. And Ouch My Money was an initiative. It was something that we started, Chunho and I, with a few other people, Denise and Rachel, to talk about this thing called money, this idea called money, and everything that revolves around money. Okay, so, but the thing I want to pick up on from what Chunho shared earlier is this. Okay, for a lot of people, getting a piece of paper and getting into a job, okay, today you know that a single income, okay, for a lot of people is not enough. And from what has happened over the last couple of years with COVID and everything, we're also seeing the world shift. Okay, and we expect in the coming decades, the nature of employment is going to change, the nature of business is going to change, and we're going to see a lot more technology. Okay, we're going to see a lot of changes in the environment, and what we need to do, okay, as part of the work that we do in the Strengths Quotient Institute, okay, is to help people discover themselves and what their superpowers are, and how each of us can stand out to create whatever it is that we want to create in our lives. Okay, so the thing is that Chuno talked about earlier, okay, was finding a side hustle. Okay, if there is something that you want to look at, then we've got the tool for you. Okay, we've been using technology for years, which has given us tremendous leverage. Okay, to be able to do a lot. Okay, with very little resources, time, money, and effort. Okay, and last year, okay, we made this tool available for public as well. Okay, and this tool is called Tribify. Okay, it allows you to be able to discover things that you want to do. Okay, get clear on that and how you can actually get started. Okay, in engaging your target audience, and then building a tribe and building a business around that. Okay, so that's Tribify. That tool is called Tribify. Okay, you can find out more about it at www.tribify.com. Now, as part of the Tribify tool, okay, we have also another tool that's bonus in Tribify that's called the One Contact Card. Okay, that allows people to find us. Okay, that allows us to tell people who we are, position ourselves. Okay, in whatever way that we are different and unique, and be able to tell our story. Okay, so this is a free tool that you can use when you register for Tribify. Please go take a look at what that's about at www.onecontactcard.com. Now, coming back to our main business, okay, the Strengths Quotient Institute is about empowering people. Okay, we work with people to empower them and give them the tools that they need, okay, to be able to create and design the lives that they want. And our signature program is Crack Your Strengths Quotient. Okay, if you go to our website, www.strengthsquotient.com, under events, you will see things that are coming up next year. Okay, so our Crack Your Strengths Quotient program is a 3-day live program. We've not been running that because of COVID, but as things are easing, okay, we are planning to restart that as well. Okay, so you can look forward to that. Now, we are also the team who is responsible for managing the Money and You community. For those of you who know what Money and You is, we are managing the Money and You community in Singapore. And for the first time in 20 years, we're very, very excited because we are bringing Money and You back to Singapore. And that's happening in April next year. Okay, and if you want to find out more about Money and You, it's at www.moneyandyou.sg. Okay, so these are the few things we're very, very excited about. There are lots of other things that we're also planning. Okay, with the metaverse, with blockchain, with NFTs. So we're looking at a lot of how we can use technology, okay, to work to enable and to empower people to chart their way forward. Okay, so these are very, very exciting things that are coming up for in 2022. Go to the different websites if you are interested and want to find out more about that. Okay, is there anything else, Denise? Okay, come back. Okay, so before we wrap up, meet Rudolph. Meet Rudolph.
Carrying a candy cane.
Okay, and I would like to, at this point in time, hey Rachel, come back. Rachel, come back and bring Chunho back as well. Okay, and Afik is there. Yes, hi Afik, you're back. And at this point in time, I'm also going to introduce my other business partner, Simon. Where are you?
Simon.
Yeah,
Whichever
you can go to
doesn't
Rachel.
matter.
Yeah, it's up to you.
Whichever the lighting, 2 each screen. 2 per screen.
Okay, so for those of you who know who we are, so it's all of us wishing all of you a merry Christmas 2021.
2021.
2021. Okay, with an amazing an amazing
22.
2022 coming up.
22.
And greetings from
Rudolph.
Rudolph. Okay, and Rudolph is the masterpiece. Oh, that's Wen Kai. You want to introduce Wen Kai?
Wen Kai is my husband. He's the sidekick of Rudolph.
Okay, so one of the things we do, we incorporate a lot of technology, okay, including the art, okay, the art of balloon sculpting. I had no idea how complicated it was until it was introduced to us by Simon with. Okay, so this is the masterpiece of Simon. You know, he just whips this out. What happened to Chunho?
Chunho is
Got disconnected.
got distracted by Rudolph.
Okay, I don't know if he's coming back.
If not, he can just come down. Actually,
Yeah.
we are
Okay.
all, yeah.
So here's from all of us. I don't know if he's coming back.
Let me see. Is it me? Yes, it is you.
Come down.
Yes,
Ask him to come down.
Yes, come down and join us.
Okay, we'll just take a couple of minutes. Oh, he's coming back.
The internet dropped, or is this me?
Yes, you
It's
dropped.
You
You
could have
dropped.
just come down actually, right?
Okay,
Okay.
so so from all of us, so from all of us. Oh, hi Lena, and Lena is I think introduce Lena.
I think it's on mute. He has to unmute.
Lena is my partner in crime, my lovely lady, my favorite coffee nerd, the one who is the victim of all my puns and my jokes and all my aggressive love-ins.
What a nice introduction. Well done, Afik.
Okay, so from all of us to all of you, have an amazing Christmas and an amazing, awesome New Year.
Yes, Merry Christmas.
Merry
and
Christmas.
Happy New Year. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I don't know what this is for, but have you ended the live? Not yet. So